The Community of Inquiry framework, first proposed by Garrison, Anderson and Archer in 2000, talks about that worthwhile educational experiences are embedded within a community of inquiry, and that's composed of teachers and students who are key participants in the educational process. So Garrison and colleagues talk about the fact that the framework identifies core elements of a collaborative constructivist learning environment that's required to create and sustain a purposeful learning community. So let's have a look at this framework. Because it is a process model of looking at a community, we have the identification of 3 different kinds of presences that make up this model: social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. And I'll go through each of those in turn now. So social presence is the ability of the participants to identify with the community. And not only that, but to communicate purposely in a trusted environment, and also to develop relationships. The cognitive presence is really how the environment supports thinking. So for example, participants in the community of inquiry can construct meaning through sustained communication, and it also reflects that learning and inquiry process is in an environment where reflection and discourse or dialogue is valued. And lastly, teaching presence. The design, facilitation and direction of the cognitive and social processes for the purpose of realising personally meaningful and educationally worthwhile learning outcomes. So it plays a central role, and it's crucial for deep and meaningful approaches to learning. So some ways that we can encourage these, the development of these presences when we're looking at social presence is how are we encouraging communication and collaboration? How are we encouraging discussion and dialogue and relationship building in our course? For cognitive presence, is there learning at a variety of levels, and where is the information exchange happening? And how are ideas being connected, and how are you encouraging your students to apply these new ideas? And teaching presence is how are you defining things? How are you initiating discussions? How are you sharing personal meanings about this, and how are you encouraging others to do that? And also, how are you directing and focusing conversations within your online learning environment? So in what ways are you creating the environment for your students where there is that development of social presence, the development of cognitive presence, and the development of teaching presence in your course?